Some people may find the unit circle to be hard or confusing, but all you need to know are a couple numbers and it becomes a whole lot easier. Some important things to remember and know when you are creating the unit circle. The cosine value is the x value, the sine value is the y value, the tangent value is sine over cosine or y over x, and radians are the number of radiuses on the outside of a circle. To start, let's fill in quadrant 1. We will fill in the numbers for the smallest angle first. To find all the values, we will use an equilateral triangle. We want to solve for an unknown side. We will call this side A. Using the Pythagorean theorem, we can solve for A. The value is root 3 over 2. The x value is root 3 over 2 because that is the cosine, and the y value is 1/2 because that is the sine. The angle for those coordinates are 30 degrees or pi over 6 radians. We will focus on the next angle now. To find the x and y values for this angle, we will start with a square. We want to solve for the two unknown sides, so we will call them both a because they are equal. Using the Pythagorean theorem, I calculated that a equals root 2 over 2. The x value is root 2 over 2. And the y value is root 2 over 2. The angle corresponding with those values is 45 degrees or pi over 4. Now we will solve for the third angle in the unit circle. This is the same calculations for pi over 6. The x value is 1/2 because it is the cosine, and the y value is root 3 over 2 because it is the sine. The angle for these values is 60 degrees or pi over 3 radians. To find the last missing values in quadrant 1, you just have to recognize them. The one on the x-axis is 0 degrees or 0 radians. The x value is 1 because it's the radius of the circle, and the y value is 0 because it does not move vertically at all. The angle on the x-axis is 90 degrees or pi over 2 radians. The x value is 0 because it does not move horizontally, and the y value is 1 because that is the radius of the circle. Now we can start creating the other quadrants of the circle. When working on different quadrants, all you need to know is the x and y values from quadrant 1. You need to be able to recognize the different radians and the parts of the points that become negative. In quadrant 2, the x value, cosine, is negative. This would also cause the tangent to become negative. First, we take the equivalent triangle from quadrant 1 and transfer the coordinates in radians. When you do this, you just need to memorize the angles in radians, but you can just copy the coordinates. The x values become negative. If you do that for all three angles, then filling in the rest of the quadrants will be easy. The last empty angle in the second quadrant is 180 degrees or pi radians. The x-coordinate is a -1 because it moves horizontally. It moves left horizontally. And the y-quadrant is 0 because it does not move vertically at all. In quadrant 3, both the x value, cosine, and the y value, sine, are negative. This will cause the tangent to become positive. If you take the coordinates from the equal triangles from quadrant 1 or 2, then you can just copy them. The last unknown angle in quadrant 3 is 270 degrees, or 3 pi over 2 radians. The x value is 0, and the y value is -1 because that is the radius of the circle and it is going down. In quadrant 4, the y value sign is negative. This will cause the tangent to become negative. You can copy the coordinates from the same triangle in the other 3 quadrants and make the x value positive and the y negative. The last empty slot in the unit circle is filled with 360 degrees, or 2 pi radians.